Welcome to Eerie Shadows, the chilling haven where nightmares become reality. Step into the realm where darkness prevails and terror lurks at every corner. Brace yourself for a bone-chilling journey through the realms of the unknown as we unearth spine-tingling tales and chilling tapes that will send shivers down your spine. But before we delve into this terrifying realm, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any single bone-chilling episode of horror, suspense, and the unknown. But remember, once you enter the world of Eerie Shadows, there's no coming back. So, let's get started. In the heart of a bustling but slightly ominous downtown area in southern Florida, a 25-year-old woman named Jessica navigated her way through the perils of city life. Uninterested in the downtown scene due to unsettling experiences her friends faced, she preferred spending time with her adorable dog over meeting new people. Her days were filled with work and her evenings with quiet solitude. One evening, boredom prompted Jessica to download Tinder, a decision that would plunge her into a nightmarish encounter. Matching with someone from high school, she agreed to catch up over tea at a local spot. Little did she know that this seemingly innocent decision would lead to a series of chilling events. Around 7 p.m., Jessica met up with her Tinder match and left the rendezvous around midnight. Deciding to take a toll road back to her apartment, she called her dad, who lived in a time zone 3 hours behind. The late hour and growing fatigue prompted Jessica to make this late-night call, seeking the comfort of familiar voices during her drive. As she neared her exit around 12:30 a.m., an unexpected and alarming sight unfolded. A young man, about 21 years old, emerged on the exit ramp, running toward Jessica's car with frantic gestures. Concerned, Jessica turned on her high beams and attempted to change lanes, fearing a collision. The man, seemingly in distress, wore a 21-plus wristband from downtown bars and clubs, suggesting he was likely intoxicated. Despite appearing non-aggressive, his dilated eyes and profuse sweating heightened Jessica's unease. Panicked, he approached her car, attempting to open the passenger side door. Jessica, taking precautions, locked all her doors and ensured her windows were rolled up. The man, pleading for assistance, claimed his friends had abandoned him and his phone was dead. Sympathetic but cautious, Jessica offered to call someone for him, but the situation took a dark turn. The man grew increasingly confused, insisting Jessica knew him and repeatedly asking to be let into her car. Stricken with fear, Jessica realized the man had mistaken her for someone named Maria and claimed a connection through Anthony, none of which she recognized. Sensing danger, she asked him to step away. Driving away, Jessica's ordeal continued. At a stoplight, she noticed the man running towards her car in the rearview mirror. Fear gripped her heart as she realized that this was not a random encounter but a targeted pursuit. Overwhelmed, she called 911, explaining the situation and receiving guidance to drive away from her apartment. Even as Jessica followed the operator's instructions, the man persisted, banging on her car and screaming. In a state of panic, Jessica navigated the streets, desperately trying to evade her pursuer. The minutes felt like hours, and every turn she made seemed to be met with the man's relentless pursuit. Her mind raced with thoughts of what he could want from her and why he was so fixated on her, a stranger he mistook for someone else. Eventually, Jessica managed to lose him and reached the safety of her home. The operator assured her that the police were on their way to the man's last known location. The incident left Jessica shaken and mystified, never learning the true identity or motives of the man who pursued her on that eerie night. In the aftermath, Jessica took extra precautions to protect herself. She changed her daily routines, installed security cameras around her apartment, and enrolled in self-defense classes. She also shared her story with friends and family, urging them to be cautious and aware of their surroundings. The incident had a profound impact on Jessica, shaking her sense of security and trust in others. She became more vigilant, always on guard, and hesitant to trust strangers. The encounter served as a stark reminder of the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life, even in seemingly safe and familiar environments. As time passed, Jessica gradually found healing and regained her sense of security, although the memory of that night continued to haunt her. She became an advocate for personal safety, sharing her story with others and raising awareness about the importance of self-defense and situational awareness. Jessica's harrowing experience serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us all to be cautious and vigilant even in our daily routines. It highlights the importance of trusting our instincts and taking steps to protect ourselves in an unpredictable world. The encounter may forever remain a mystery, but the lessons learned from that fateful night will forever be etched into Jessica's memory as a reminder of the fragility of our existence and the importance of personal safety. Around 2 decades ago, in the sun-soaked landscapes of southern Texas, a chilling tale unfolded during the road adventures of a band called Desert Echoes. Despite being siblings, the musical talents of Jake and Ethan, born of the same parents, diverged sharply. Jake effortlessly mastered the guitar, while Ethan, despite years of effort, found the musical journey an elusive one. Their musical paths took a significant turn when Jake, 2 years older than Ethan, joined forces with a friend and fellow musicians from a neighboring town to form Desert Echoes. The band quickly rose to prominence as one of the most beloved rock acts in northern Texas. After conquering the Confederate States with their Skinner and Allman Brothers-inspired sound, the decision was made to venture westward. As the newly appointed road manager, Ethan faced the challenge of booking shows in unfamiliar territory. With cautious optimism, he secured a small handful of gigs for Desert Echoes in the vast expanses of the American West. Surprisingly, the shows exceeded expectations, and the band basked in the success of their tour. However, the crescendo of triumph would meet a dissonant end at their final show in a California town that remains unnamed. The venue, out of respect for its reputation, concealed the shadows that would soon unfold. After a sold-out performance, the night took a sinister turn when Ethan, laden with the band's earnings, encountered his worst nightmare in the darkened alley behind the club. As Ethan approached the van, a cold voice accompanied by the ominous presence of a gun disrupted the post-show euphoria. The demand for money echoed through the still night, and Ethan, paralyzed with fear, complied with the unseen assailant's instructions. In the silence that followed, Ethan could only speculate about the presence of another thief, even though no other figures materialized. After reluctantly surrendering the band's earnings, Ethan was instructed to count to 200 before moving. The thief vanished into the night, leaving Ethan seething with anger and disbelief. Returning to the club, he shared the shocking incident with his bandmates, who responded with concern for his well-being. Law enforcement was summoned, but the lack of a clear description left the investigation in limbo. The police advised against holding hope for the recovery of their stolen funds. Despite the setback, the band found solace in the remaining money from merchandise sales. Upon returning home, Desert Echoes faced internal challenges that led to their dissolution. The incident served as a stark reminder of the fragility of success in the turbulent world of rock music. Personal tensions and creative differences began to overshadow their once unified vision. The stolen earnings became a symbol of their shattered dreams and dashed hopes. Over time, the members of Desert Echoes went their separate ways. Jake pursued a solo career, achieving moderate success with his guitar virtuosity. Ethan, scarred by the traumatic experience, moved away from music altogether, embracing a more stable and secure life outside the industry. Nearly 2 decades later, Ethan reflects on that haunting night, vowing to conduct business with newfound caution and urging others to remain vigilant in the face of potential dangers on the road. The echoes of that fateful night continue to resonate in the annals of the band's history, serving as a somber reminder of the risks and challenges faced by musicians who seek to share their art with the world. Desert Echoes may have disbanded, but their story lives on as a cautionary tale, reminding aspiring musicians of the sacrifices and hardships that can accompany a life dedicated to music. And while the stolen earnings and shattered dreams still haunt Ethan's memories, he has found solace in using his experiences to educate and protect others who embark on similar paths. In the end, the tale of Desert Echoes serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of music. It teaches us that even in the face of adversity and heartbreak, the echoes of our past can inspire us to create a better future. I was born and raised in Fairbanks, Alaska, and had decided to start my undergraduate studies in a small college town in Montana. Due to financial setbacks, my family and I concluded that my return home for local schooling would be the best option. As the academic year wrapped up, my mom flew down to join me for a road trip through Canada before re-entering the US via the Alaskan side. The journey started well, with stops in Canadian cities for shopping, mostly during daylight hours. On the third night, driving to our hotel in Dawson, Yukon, darkness fell faster than expected. Somewhere after Stewart Crossing, an unsettling situation unfolded. A vehicle began tailgating us with its high beams on, despite my efforts to let it pass on the single-lane, two-way road. The persistent tailgating raised a sense of dread, especially with my mom, who couldn't see well in the dark. No details about the vehicle or driver were discernible. The unnerving pursuit continued even as I dropped to the speed limit and other drivers flashed their high beams in frustration. As we approached Arlington, the situation escalated. Urged by my mom, I accelerated to escape, but the pursuer attempted to ram us from the rear driver's side. Miraculously, they missed, and I accelerated, narrowly avoiding a collision. The SUV, carrying several figures, zipped around us and blocked our path, forcing a dangerous encounter. In a split-second decision, I shifted between reverse and drive, narrowly escaping the trap. Speeding away, the vehicle continued to follow, disappearing only when we reached Arlington. Terrified and shaken, we debated reporting the incident to the police but ultimately continued to Dawson, our paranoia lingering. Upon our return, my mom and I decided not to share the harrowing experience with my dad, already burdened by his own concerns. Reflecting on the incident, I realized the fragility of life and the importance of trusting one's instincts in the face of danger.